Welcome to Newsmax TV. I'm Kathleen Walter at the Republican National Convention in Tampa, Florida. With me is former presidential candidate Senator Rick Santorum. Senator Santorum, it's so good to have you with us on Newsmax TV.
It's good to be with you.
All right, well, recent polls have Barack Obama and Mitt Romney basically in a dead heat. How do you think your former opponent is doing, especially considering all of the negative attack ads that he's had to face?
Well, one of the things I've learned is it's a long campaign. And I also learned from my experience in Iowa that what happens 2 months out is just lays the groundwork. But what really matters is, you know, have you laid the groundwork to win in the fall, win when it counts? And
right.
I think that what Mitt Romney is doing is systematically laying that groundwork. I don't see any traction that Barack Obama's getting on any issues. And if the election, which I believe will happen, is about Barack Obama and his stewardship, and Romney being a credible alternative, will win.
Now, Republicans went up against Barack Obama and lost in 2008. How has the GOP changed its strategy this time around, and is it working?
Well, you know, look, we have a candidate that is running, and you see it from his nomination of Paul Ryan. He's running as a conservative. He's running not like John McCain did, to back away and pull punches. He's going right, when Barack Obama goes after him, Mitt Romney goes right back, and then goes on the offensive, and is not afraid to take the gloves off and call President Obama into account for what his destructive policies have been. And you saw it yesterday. I think it was pretty hard hitting yesterday, and I think you're going to continue to see that through the course of the campaign. President Obama has to stand by his record, and Mitt Romney's going to make him do it.
Now, what do you make of the negative tone that Barack Obama has set for his campaign?
If you don't have anything to run on, you tear down your opponent. And Mitt Romney has something to run on. He has Barack Obama's record, which he has to defend, and Mitt Romney's vision for the country. And I think we're seeing some of that come out here at the convention. And I think you're going to see that tonight from Paul Ryan. I think you're going to see a real vision speech tonight.
What do you think Paul Ryan has added to the campaign?
Ideas, you know, convictions on the critical nature of the situation we're in America today, both economically, financially, morally, culturally. And Paul's been a warrior out there on the front line and offering concrete proposals to address these issues. That, I think, encouraged a lot of conservatives.
Now, many are saying that this election will be decided by the undecideds or the unaffiliated, about 10% of the electorate. What does Mitt Romney have to say and do Thursday night in his speech to appeal to this block of the electorate?
I think he has to open up a window as to who he is. You know, Governor Romney's been criticized a lot for being a little stiff and not connecting to people. And I think if you look at candidates in the past who have not been successful, guys like Al Gore and John Kerry and Michael Dukakis, one of the reasons I believe is that people couldn't connect with them. They were very, you know, stiff and distant. Mitt Romney needs to bring people in and give them some insight as to the kind of character that this man is, and hopefully he'll do that on Thursday night.
Now, you know Mitt Romney well. He was your opponent for many months. Do you think that's his greatest vulnerability?
Right now, I believe it's his greatest vulnerability. I think, you know, from everybody that I talk to that know Governor Romney, they describe a man that is very different than the public Mitt Romney, and that's one that they've got to overcome if they're going to win, and particularly if they're going to win big, which I hope they do.
Do you think this is something he can overcome in his speech?
I do. You know, I can tell you from as someone who's been, you know, in and out of politics a couple of times, things in life change you, and I'm hopeful that what happened yesterday will actually have that impact on Mitt Romney. The fact that his quest, which has been going on for about 8 years now, to run for president and be the nominee of the Republican Party, has now been secured, and I'm hopeful that he'll now be able to step back a little bit and open up to the American public.
Now, conservative Christians really rallied around you in the primary. Have they accepted Mitt Romney as their nominee?
I think, you know, we're pretty united here. You know, Barack Obama has been the great uniter of the Republican Party. He's the great divider of the country. But he certainly has united Republicans, and We had a rally today. We have a new organization called Patriot Voices. We're launching our website this week called patriotvoices.com. And we brought together conservatives from across the board to rally for Mitt Romney today. We had his son Matt there to speak. And there is, there's no lack of enthusiasm for defeating President Obama and putting Mitt Romney in the White House.
Senator Santorum, I want to get your take on the Todd Akin controversy and his remarks about rape and abortion. Mike Huckabee supports Todd Akin. Now, according to one poll, the results of which came out today, the Missouri Senate candidate is 3 points over his opponent, Claire McCaskill. What do you make of Akin's remarks, and do you support him like Huckabee does?
Well, I think Congressman Akin's remarks were outrageous and wrong, and I know a lot of people condemned him, and I certainly would join that what he said was beyond the pale. What I have been saying, and what I said to him, is that he's a nominee. He earned the nomination of the party. He overcame obstacles to win that nomination, and he deserves an opportunity to see whether he can overcome this and be the strongest candidate for us to be able to win. And we'll, my feeling is let's give him the opportunity to see, and he still has to the end of the month, next month, to really pull out of the race, and my feeling is let's see how it goes.
Let's talk about Pennsylvania. Real Clear Politics has Pennsylvania as a likely blue state, but Joe Scarborough refers to Pennsylvania as fool's gold for Republicans. Could Pennsylvania go for Romney this election?
Pennsylvania's a tough state, but fool's gold I think is a little strong. I mean, we elected a Republican governor 2 years ago with a 10-point margin. That's the mother lode. That's a big win for a Republican, and Tom Corbett is a conservative. Pat Toomey, who's another strong conservative, was elected in that election year, obviously by a much narrower margin. I think it will be very tough for Mitt Romney to win Pennsylvania, but Pennsylvania is seeing an economic resurgence in large part because of the gas industry in Pennsylvania. And I think Obama's hostility to energy production is not going to bode well for him in that state. And if you go beyond the energy production, what he's been doing, particularly some of his extreme regulations on manufacturing and environmental regulation, really hurting the rest of the Pennsylvania economy. I'm hopeful that people will vote with their pocketbooks and vote for Mitt Romney.
Last question, Senator Santorum. How is the family, especially your daughter Bella? How's she doing?
She's doing amazingly well. I spoke about her last night, and she's in the less than 0.1% of children who were diagnosed with this disorder who are alive at her age. And so we consider every single day a blessing from her. And she is, as I said last night, full of life. She's joyful. She's very special, and she is doing well, I believe, thanks in large part to the prayers of so many people across this country. So on behalf of the rest of the family, thank you for those prayers.
Senator Rick Santorum, do give your family our very best. And as always, it's a pleasure having you on Newsmax TV.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching Newsmax TV.